bottles, yeah, we got them all. Line them all up and we'll drink till we fall. Arthur Cantina's the best liquor store. Arthur Cantina, you'll never need more.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Arthur Cantina Podcast. I'm your host, JP, with the other host, Anthony.
What up?
And I feel like it's been forever since all three of us have made a podcast together. Last one that was Easter was just me and you. And then we went down to Mexico and it was just me and you. But now we're back and now Joey's here.
By the way, I was early today. We had to wait for someone to show up.
Well, we haven't
today.
had a podcast in like a month because he's on vacation all the time. So you want to throw dirt on everybody. But anyways, which, by the way, I want to ask both of you, how was Florida? You guys went down to Florida together, just two guys going together without their family. I don't know what they did down there. They didn't tell anybody. I don't know.
Totally not gay. Not gay at all. We had a great time. We went down with our families, went to Disney. Like what this guy is saying, which is not gay. And we had a great time. It was fantastic. It was awesome.
Now we got Disney won over a couple families, and that's what they do.
I've always been against the idea of being a Disney file. I'll say this personally. I always thought people were like brainwashed or like, you know, living in some fantasy world with their like dogs living in their beds and cats all over the house and all kinds of animals and things. People living like miscreants. But
miscreants.
Going to Disney, man, changed my whole perception. It was fantastic. I've been there before when I was a kid, and it was a totally different experience. You know, you're just running around trying to get everything done. But going there now as a parent and seeing your kids enjoying Disney and seeing like all the work that they put into Disney, it's fantastic. There's a lot of thought that goes into it. And now that I've been to Disney, all the social media, it just knows I'm like a Disney guy now. So it just shows me videos all day about what to eat at this Disney place, what to eat at this Disney place, what hidden ride is over here, and what hidden areas over there, and why this was going to get built and then it didn't get built, and all the layout of it. There's a lot to go on. So now I kind of get it a little bit, or you Disney psychopaths. I kind of understand where you're coming from. It's a pretty cool place.
I kind of understand where you're coming. You're wearing a Disney shirt.
Well, I'm not wearing a Disney shirt.
Talking about Disney secret hidden restaurants.
Captain Morgan inspired
Hook Disney shirt.
Captain Hook thing, which a Disney guy was like, I've never seen that shirt before as I walked in.
Wow, you're really impressing Disney people.
This is impressing the Disney dude. And then to his credit, everyone there has like their own like little group like shirt made for them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like,
the
Ramirez
Johnsons family,
yeah.
2025 Disney trip. And you all look like dorks. You stick out like idiots. I get it because you got to see your group, whatever, but you all look like clowns.
I can't wait till you guys go next year and you guys have your own shirts.
Well, I did buy outfits for the baby because we're growing again, but I bought them all Nike gear. I didn't buy them Disney inspired shit.
Anyway, that's the Disney story.
Disney was great, man. I mean, it was great. I had a lot of fun.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Star Wars.
No, that doesn't count.
Why?
You know what I mean. That's not.
I don't know. They have a whole.
Which Star Wars? Not the original. That's not Star Wars. That's not Disney. The original.
I like The Mandalorian. We're rewatching it. It was very good. Boba Fett is more towards me because it's a little more like Sopranos inspired. If you're watching Boba Fett, it's very Sopranos inspired. Like he takes over the district and like he's like moving all these pawns and controlling everything and getting all these factions in line. Gotta rewatch the Boba Fett series. I think it was really good.
That doesn't count as Disney. You know what?
Well, why not?
You know what I meant.
They got a Millennium Falcon in the place. What the?
I understand that, but that's not it. It's whatever.
You want traditional Disney?
Yes,
is that what you're talking about?
Yes, like with stupid Mickey Mouse. Well,
I can't even say that because I like the WALL-E movie from Pixar, but that's not really Disney either because Disney bought that IP as well.
No, I'm talking about like real Disney shit.
We only say Cinderella. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you like Cinderella. I always like the Robin Hood with the fox. I loved that as a kid.
Those are pretty good.
That was my favorite one.
Little John.
Yeah, I love that.
That was pretty good. I do like that time of Disney.
And Jungle Book was dope too.
I also don't know what the hell is Disney. Is Looney Tunes Disney?
No,
that's WB.
Yeah,
that's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Yeah.
I love Daffy Duck and Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, I grew up on Looney Tunes as well.
Technically, Roger Rabbit is a... No.
No, Roger Rabbit.
I'm thinking about the other movie made by Turner. It's like cartoon and human.
Roger Rabbit.
It is Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, with
that is Disney.
Well, then no.
Yeah, that's Turner.
No.
That's part of Disney.
But
Joey,
Roger,
fact check that.
But Roger Rabbit had some crazy shit where it was like they had Disney and Looney Tunes. There's Donald
so
Duck.
It was a crossover allowed.
And it was like
I read something about that too not too long ago. But that was Turner. Turner was like their adult.
But isn't that owned by Ted Turner? Isn't it TNT and TBS and?
It's like on the Disney for some whatever. Joey, fact check all this shit.
Yeah, Joey's not gonna do any of that. So this episode, I guess, would be considered part 2 of our Mexico. We went down to Mexico. We filmed part 1. It was the day we got there. And night 2, day we were leaving. We tried to film a second one. We were just too on the moon. Maybe we have a clip that we could throw in there of us, Anthony sleeping or something. But anyway, we went down to Patrón. It was a great time. They wanted us to buy a barrel. They tasted us on a barrel. Well, we'll see how that goes. And we just had a great time. We drank a lot. We met people. We saw the agave fields. I'm sure there's a picture, and I'm sure there's a video we could throw in there. Joey's going to be busy, man. Joey's going to do some real editing now. But we're going to drink Patrón today. Shout out Patrón.
I mean, the Patrón facility itself, the whole experience was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
The entire area is propped up by the agave plant. Literally,
it's crazy.
It fuels the entire area. I don't know what the hell would be there if it wasn't for the agave. But
there's not much there now, to be honest with you.
When you get there, there's just fields of red. Like the soil's all red with this agave green plant just sticking out of it. It's everywhere. It's all over the place. Like they have like a little bit at the Hacienda, obviously, to show off that this is our plant. Once you leave, there's just fields. Like from the highway to as far back as you could see, up the mountain, just agave everywhere.
So I wonder, like, what is... Because Patrón has contracted, I think, again, I always say I think, I'm not too sure if it was 8 different family
That's
ranches.
what they said, 8 families.
But, like, there's so many other, like you said, like they'll just be like a field in the middle of, like, so what's going on with that?
There was a million other companies there, too. We drove in, there was Don Julio.
Yeah.
There was also Siete Leguas. They're there, too. And there was a bunch of other little tequila companies I didn't know, I never heard of. Doesn't mean that they're only in Mexico. They might just not come to New York. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're like in California or Texas or something. There's a bunch of different companies out there. It's
crazy because, again, fields, like just on the side, like in a little, on the side of a mountain or whatever. And then you get the Patrón fields where they get theirs, and it was like beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it was like a super pro.
Also, because they got Patrón money.
Yes, obviously.
Once you're stabilized with a contract like from Patrón,
oh yeah, you're chilling.
You're chilling, man. You could secure the next 5 or 6 generations of your family, build whatever you want to build over there.
Yeah, but it was fantastic. Shout out Patrón.
Yeah, and also
my new favorite tequila.
To credit, safety wise, I mean, when we got to the airport, there was like a pickup truck with like a machine gun on the back and like 2 guys with AKs. But when we got to the Hacienda, there was just a little Mexican guy with a checkered vest with a clipboard going, "Hello, Tare, wait, how many passengers? Thank you, have a good day." And that was it. I thought I was going to come into like a fortress. I thought I was going to be like, a guy on a pew on top somewhere, ready to shoot. But it wasn't that.
The bull crap Donald Trump tells you.
No, it was beautiful.
It was. I didn't feel unsafe at all because
it was beautiful.
Oh, you go to Mexico, the cartels. All you hear about Mexico is like everyone's trying to get out and the cartels run the country. I got there. I'm like, this place is beautiful. Everybody's nice.
The airport smelled like a bathroom. The
airport was kind of grimy.
The
country itself is kind of like a third world country. The road's terrible. It's desolate houses, like just kind of put together with broken brick. But
so going in there.
Besides that, it's beautiful. Everybody's really nice. Everything's nice.
So cheers.
Yeah.
So to
Mexico. Viva Patrón. Viva Mexico.
Guadalajara.
Patrón additive free. Got a real grasp of how they make the stuff. It's people. Which I learned. I'm not a big tequila drinker, but people prefer the Blanco, right? Blanco or the Red Bull. what I was gathering from people talking to people is that not many people like the reposado. I mean the añejo, the aged stuff, which I personally love. I think you get more wood flavor, you get more of that barrel feel.
I think because we're more whiskey experts.
Yeah,
it appeals more.
But this
to
ain't
us.
bad.
No, this is great.
They're very clean.
I mean, nice sweetness in the front,
Mm-hmm.
which, according to the people at Patrón, they look for a sweeter plant. So in those conditions of Altolino El Alto,
Mm-hmm.
it's in a highlands. The soil being red is iron oxide, which iron oxide is rust, but the soil is very red and is very acidic, which makes the plant strive to grow. It's got to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to fight those conditions.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
Those plants are anywhere from 4 to 8 years old, and they know when it's ready based on like the size of it and like if any spots are red or not. They start to cut off all the spines and they harvest it. But they're looking for a naturally very sweet agave plant. Can you grab me that Fortaleza bottle? I want to just show people what the agave looks like in 3D.
Well, we have pictures. We
Right.
can also put it there.
But this is pretty much what the agave plant looks like when you take it out the ground.
Piña.
They shave off all the spines, and it pretty much comes out just like this. They then take this, they chop it up, they throw it into an oven, and they cook it. And when it comes out cooked, we were able to sample some. It's like a sweet potato.
Yeah.
It was pretty delicious.
It
I was like,
was.
damn, I could eat
It was
this like on a,
fibery, but it was delicious.
like
Yeah,
a little side dish on barbecue or something.
yeah. I thought
It
the
was
same
very
thing. Like,
good.
this is delicious.
It was very delicious.
Yeah, sweet, sugary, and yeah.
Then it goes into a pit with the tahona. And that tahona is like this big ass wheel in a pit, and it just crushes the shit out of this thing. So think like if you had baked apples or something, and you're gonna make apple juice. Now you put them all in there, you crush all that stuff. 2 dudes are then scooping everything, throwing it on a conveyor belt. It goes up into the fermentation tanks, where it's gonna sit there and it's gonna ferment. And we've seen the entire process. Beautiful smell of apples,
Yeah.
actually. Crazy how the agave smells like that. Once that's done fermenting, they then send it to distillation. And it goes to the copper pot distillation, single pot. So it's old school, traditional. They distill them and then right to bottle. And what was funny that we touched on, we went with a bunch of other stores, guys who have like 2 stores, much bigger operation than us, and they had no idea how distillation works. That kind of blew me away a little bit.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
funny.
how are you in this industry and you don't know how to still
Because
work?
they're all freaking bulletproof stores. They're not artisan.
Artisanal.
They're not specialists like us. You come in here, we're gonna tell you what's what, how's who, and where's where.
A lady yesterday came in from Queens and she goes, we come all the way from Flushing just because you guys know what you're talking about.
Let's go Mets.
Not blowing steam up my own ass, but the lady was like, I like this interaction. I like coming here, tasting things, talking. We had 2 people sampling, so she was bullshitting with them. Then she was bullshitting with Fed, and she was bullshitting with me. Lady had a great time. She brought her whole family, spent a bunch of money, which was a plus. But they were very nice people. And that's the difference between us and a bulletproof store or a warehouse on the side of the highway somewhere. We actually know what the we're doing. Joey's got to have a lot of work to do. It's a lot of cursing.
There's a lot of credit. Joey's got a lot of editing to do. Joey's got to edit Mexico 1, and he's gonna edit this part. But also, smells good. I love the smell. I'm becoming a big tequila guy.
I mean, I drank way too much last night, but I've recovered pretty quickly. I recovered midday. I was good again. That morning was really tough.
Yeah, we
Very
didn't get
tough.
much sleep too.
Yeah, I also up too.
Yeah.
Bleep that out. Also.
The travel in Mexico was killer. We had to travel. For like 8 hours, 9 hours, to spend a day and a half and then travel another 9 hours, 10 hours back, whatever it was.
If it was a direct flight, wouldn't have been so bad. But we had to stop. We had to run around from one side of the airport to the other side of the airport. That was a bit of a pain in the ass.
Then we had to take from the airport to the Patrón was an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, it was a bit
killer.
of a bitch. But beautiful, man. I'd do it again. I'd do it again.
Yeah,
in a
no,
heartbeat.
Patrón, send us again, please. Speaking of which,
It was fantastic.
try this one.
Which we did, by the way. We did say yes to the barrel. We bought a barrel of Añejo. So that should be coming in September. So if you're interested in a single barrel bottle just for Arthur Cantina tequila, we'll have it ready for you in September.
Yeah, it's good and it's fantastic.
Oh, it was really good.
It was really good. Now this butthole kiss from this thing. This is the Añejo.
Now tequila, which I made a good point of. I was like, we get whiskeys that are 12 years old, 15 years old, 18 years old, 21, 25. Some scotches are in the 30s. Well, obviously, the sky's the limit. There's some that are much older, up to 100 years old. I was like, I've never seen tequila really aged very long. And they made a good point. They were like, well, one, the agaves cost a lot of money. Each plant has to also grow for 4 to 8 years. Whereas in whiskey, corn, barley, it grows that season. You harvest it, you chop it up, you mash it, and you're ready to go. Think about how cheap corn is in America. Yeah. It's pretty much free at this point.
Growing it to throw it out.
All right, so you can just age it and age it and age it and age it.
You can experiment with it.
All right.
You can do a lot of shit with corn.
And it's very, very sweet. There's a lot of sugar in corn. So it can really kind of hold up against the aging of the wood. Whereas tequila is sweet too, but it takes on a lot of the wood characteristic. So that's probably why you don't see many tequilas that are very old. And one, the cost, and two, the wood soaking.
Well, the guy was saying that everything's done by hand when it comes to harvesting because the piñas are all different sizes and different weights. Like it's not a cornfield where you just send in a friggin' plow.
Video Himador.
Don't worry, you'll get it. And they just, corn, big machine, gets it, does whatever it has to do, strip it, blah, blah, blah. Agave is just one guy with a flat shovel chopping everything up. It was really cool, actually.
Yeah. That was very cool.
This Añejo, what do you think about it? I haven't drank it yet.
Oh, man. Barrel aging. People always ask, why do you age things in barrel?
Oh, I love it so much better.
Why do you age things in wood for what?
Caramel flavor to it.
And the reason being is it just makes shit better. You could take a spirit that's pretty good and make it great with a barrel. The barrel will calm down the alcohol. You'll get extra flavors of vanilla and caramel and obviously a little bit of wood, a little oak. It just really complements the spirit in a way that you can't get from stainless steel or from even copper if you age it in copper. I never heard of anyone aged in copper, but they age it in stainless steel for like a day or two and then they bottle it.
What do you like out of the Patrons?
I like the first one.
You like the first one? He likes the Blanco. He's a Blanco guy. Dang.
The sweetness on this one is definitely dialed down. It doesn't come out as much in the front. And there was a saltiness kind of that I was picking up in the Blanco that you don't get now. It's kind of replaced with a little bit of a heat. I want to say spice really, but it's more of a heat comes through where that saltiness was.
See, I kind of get saltiness with the Añejo. Almost like a taffy, like caramel salt.
I say dryness. Maybe that's the tannins coming through or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's tannins in the Patrón. But, definitely to me, the way to go is an Añejo.
And Patrón uses different types of barrels. We tasted one that was 2 different woods. It was like French or Hungarian wood on the tops and the sides were American oak. I actually didn't like that one at all.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that. I asked him too, was it charred? And he said, no, just slightly toasted.
But I do like the experimenting. I like that in anything. And even in booze especially. Try something crazy. Try different 2 woods together. Yeah. Try,
You gotta. Because you have
aging this one in the ground, buried in the dirt or something, Do crazy shit. See how it turns out.
You gotta, because otherwise you limited your growth. If you're not experimenting and trying different things out, what's the next step? I would love to see a spirit age in space. I would love to see a barrel of like bourbon aging on the space station somewhere.
We got to get there first if you don't believe that. I do get with the Añejo a little bit more like alcohol-y taste at the end. I think the Blanco is just kind of straight.
There is something, you're right, there's something lingering at the end. All right, sip some more.
But shout out Patrón. Again, my new favorite tequila.
By the way, I drank
a lot.
At least $2,000 or $3,000 worth of tequila.
Yeah.
That last night. So
we had to indulge.
Definitely felt it the next day.
they were pouring us because they had everything, Patrón has obviously at their hacienda, and there's free drinks the whole time. So, how much is the bottle? We're drinking Grand Patrón.
So the Grand Patrón Bordeaux,
it's like $600 a bottle,
which is a Bordeaux cask. Maybe a shitty store would sell it for $600. Arthur Cantina would sell it for $550. Just put it
so
out there.
$500 bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
We were just drinking that all night.
Good.
Straight.
Because at first they had this nice cocktail book. I'm like, these
did
cocktails.
a couple cocktails, but I'm not a
this
cocktail
sounds
guy.
cute. This sounds nice. Let me get this. Let me try that. But I'm like, all right, this is okay. When I start thinking about it, I go, wait, they got really expensive shit here.
Yeah, let's indulge.
Why the f*** am I not drinking the expensive stuff? So there was the Piedra, which I'm going to order too. Those were great. There's a little bit more, it's a little dialed down from the Bordeaux, but it was fantastic too. A little bit sweeter and a little bit less oak. The Bordeaux had a lot of wood influence in it. And to me, it was just golden. It was really good.
It really was good.
It was really good. So we'll have both in the future. I have to
Yeah,
order
it's
them.
funny because we sat at the bar. They pull out a plate of whatever,
Oh, dude.
whatever they were giving us appetizers. Me and Andy were just sitting there
So good.
pounding plates and like cocktails, drinking this nice mezcal chocolate martini thing. I'm like, this tastes nice. I like mezcal. I like the smokiness. And then we finished our plates of whatever, beer nuts or whatever the hell you would call them.
Dude,
And then we were just pounding.
not a plate of beer nuts.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I'm
He brought out a
underselling.
platter.
I'm underselling.
For like 5 or 6 people, just for me and him. And this thing had a big thing of guacamole in the center, which was delicious. It had chips on one side. It had like
Pita
some
chips,
tortilla, whatever the something else on the other side.
beef jerky was the
A
best.
big ass thing of beef jerky that was phenomenal. It wasn't like the beef jerky you're thinking of like in the supermarket. It was
it was
meat that was dried out in the sun
Yeah,
and then fried or something.
like Brahmin meat. I think
it
all
was
out.
so good.
It's funny
It was
because
so good.
it was agave fields and then just like random little plots of cows, and I'm
Yeah.
like, we eat those cows. And let me tell you, we ate 2 of those plates.
Dude, and then a thing of pork rinds.
Those are banging.
We crushed that platter, and the guy's looking at us, and he pulls out another platter from underneath, drops it in front of him. I'm like, man. I ate all the salted beef on that thing.
Oh yeah,
That shit was delicious. So good.
I forgot I hate pork rinds. Those pork rinds
Oh,
were
they were
fantastic.
great. I don't like pork rinds
They were
either, but they were
fantastic.
good. They were so
Yeah.
good.
Oh man.
Patrón,
and then shout out Patrón. And then the second night they had a platter of like taquitos, chicken taquitos or whatever. Those are banging too. But
I was trying not to eat them.
we knew we had a nice dinner coming, so
No.
we did it. And then the second night was fantastic. We had the taquitos, we had the fancy Patrón, and we had the best mariachi band I've ever seen.
Yeah, 9-piece mariachi band, which according to my father-in-law, he goes, that's how it's supposed to be. 9-piece mariachi band up to like 16.
It was
I was like,
fantastic.
get
They
the
were
fuck
great.
out.
They
16.
were the best mariachi I've ever experienced. I've experienced quite a few mariachis in my day. Quite a few Mexican friends and family members, and seen quite a few mariachis. Hands down, the best.
Those guys were great.
They were great.
They were great.
They were good. They were very good.
They would do very funny gay things. It was very
Yes,
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so
Mexicans
funny.
very
It was
funny
so
guy.
funny. I was laughing so
It
much.
was so funny. And let me tell you again, I don't want to take shots at the people on the tour with us, but I'm going to anyway. White people suck, man, because me and Anthony are sitting there. We're at the bar, we're wrecked, we're drinking, and mariachis singing a song, right? And 2 of these people that were on the tour with us, white as you can be, like think of the whitest name, that was their name. I don't want to say their names, but it was like, whatever. Grown man with folded cuff jeans. I'm not gonna go that. Let's say I don't want to dox them, but anyway.
Well, they were hipsters.
Yeah,
from
they
the
were like
city.
hipsters from the city.
They're like a little more mature because now they have like a
baristas.
job or something, right? They're not like just living off of mommy and
First of
daddy.
all, you call
anymore.
yourself a mixologist. Get a grip. First.
Well, there was that one nice mixologist girl. She was
No,
nice
yes,
girl.
but this is about. Well, I don't want to dig into these guys, but anyway, the mariachis, they're singing a song, ba, 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 and he hits like a high note, right? It's like, ah, and then he makes the other guy like he goes around to try to make the onlookers do it. So he goes to this 2 goofy white guys. He goes, ah, and the white guy's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And we're like, what the? We're all drunk having a good time, you know what I mean? So then he's like, ah, and the guy just shakes his head, he won't do it. And then he goes next to me, there's this Chinese guy and his wife that were on the tour. Even the Chinese lady was like, ho, 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 very like how Asians are like, oh, but she did it. Then she went, ah, everyone went crazy. And then I did it. And then Anthony did it. And then everyone else did it. I'm like, you guys are goofs. You're not having a good time. God knows what they're drinking. What really bothered I'm throwing these guys under the bus. What really bothered me is we get there the first day and they give us a presentation and we're sitting around the table and they go, what's your name? Where you from? What's your favorite cocktail with tequila? You know? And oh, Paloma. Tequila Sunrise. Oh, margarita. You know, to get to this guy, he goes, I like a Devil's Entendre Flame. And the lady's like, what the is that? Oh, it's when you mix this. Like, you know, some bullshit new drink that he probably made up in his stupid bar. And right off the bat, I'm like, I'm done with this guy. I'm done with this guy. Oh, I like the habanero spice of life. What the is that, guy? You just made that up.
It really threw the Mexican lady giving the presentation off.
She was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know.
This lady was like a tequila historian. She like knew everything. She was like, this is why it was founded. This is where it was from. This is where we get this from. She's giving this nice presentation. A little boring, but I get it. You gotta do it, right? Because you gotta set yourself in the place. And this guy said this shit, and I'm like shaking my head.
My favorite part about that lady, this is a very niche reference. I couldn't stop thinking about it. My brother does a good impersonation of Gordon Ramsay. When Gordon Ramsay's like yelling at someone, he's like, you gotta cook the rice fresh, yes? You know, he always says, yes. Yeah. She kept saying like whatever, because I guess that's like
it's a Mexican, it's a Latin American thing.
Yeah, if you don't have like, you know.
Because you say like, verdad, no? Like,
yeah.
True, yes? Like that's what they say like behind like a lot of phrases. Saying drives me nuts when they say that. I go, yeah, yes, true. Yes.
I was just thinking of Gordon Ramsay because he does it all the time. He's like, quickly, yes? You gotta get the baked potato fresh, yes? Mm-hmm. That's what she was doing. But
she's a nice lady.
Very nice lady.
She knew her shit, which I really appreciate.
What are we drinking now? You poured another
we poured the competitor.
The competitor.
This is Don Julio.
Being sued?
Also called Don Julio. In the middle of a huge lawsuit right now. They're getting their butthole opened up. According to the people here, that they're fighting it, whatever. When I talked to someone else, they said, well, Mexico has this tequila governing organization called the CRT. They pretty much go up the asshole of every distillery and they say, where is this plant aged? When was it planted? They go through this entire process of making sure that things are done correctly and not just throwing in whatever the hell they want. She says the CRT isn't involved, which is a big questionable action because the CRT is involved in everything. They control the entire tequila production. They're governing body. They're up everyone's ass checking everything. They actually do some work out there. They're not involved in this lawsuit here. Long story short, New York, New Jersey brought a lawsuit against, or I should say, someone brought a lawsuit against Don Julio in New York and New Jersey. Where this lawsuit's going to go, we don't know. It's alleging that Don Julio is mixing in something else other than tequila into their tequila. And they're claiming it's 100% Blue Weber agave when it's not, because obviously they're mixing something else in there. Whether this is true or not, whether they reach a settlement, whether we don't know, we'll find out. But they're in hot water right now. Casamigos and Don Julio. We drove by there. They didn't have a nice setup. It was a big-ass factory. Huge. But, they didn't put us up in Mexico, so them. Let's try the competition. This is the Añejo from Don Julio. Smell chocolate in the nose. Sweet in the beginning. Salt in the middle.
I don't get any lingering flavor. Like, I feel like you drink it and it's gone.
Yeah, very light finish. Give it a little bit, see if anything works on it. I did smell a lot of chocolate, though. I was smelling a lot of chocolate when we were tasting tequilas.
Yeah, I get the chocolate.
And that could just be smelling the caramel, maybe from the cooked agave.
Yeah, I think that's more what it is.
But it comes off as chocolate.
Hold on.
I'm not saying bad. The heat here is definitely dialed back. Not as aggressive.
Yeah.
Which, maybe that's indicative of them mixing with something. Who knows?
Now, they add sugar?
A lawsuit alleges that they add a cane liquor to their agave. Obviously it's cheaper to put in some cane juice versus just being 100% agave.
Because don't they make agave sugar?
She's saying they make mixto. Mixto is a cheaper tequila. You're only required to put in 51% agave. You can put in other things, which is going to be a sugar cane liquor, all right, like a rum or something like that. or a neutral grain spirit.
But what I'm saying
But
is,
Patron's and solid mix though.
they from the agave you can make not maple syrup, sugary. Like But why don't you add that? What if you have a batch of tequila and you add more of the agave syrup sugar into it? Does that
what they
count?
might be doing? Well,
Does that count?
Okay, let's I'll step back a little bit. Let's bring up the Albanes.
I'll tell you right now.
We'll get the Albanes involved in this. Reason being,
stickies.
Albanes come in here and go, "This raki is made with grape or made with sugar?" I go, "What are you talking about? Is it all grape or they mix sugar in here?" I'm like, "I have no idea what the you're talking about." Now I started digging into it. What they're talking about is when you're fermenting, if your product that you started with is not sweet enough, which is why Patrón looks for this really sweet agaves, you don't have enough to ferment. You need the presence of sugar. You need sweetness there because the yeast has to eat that sugar. The yeast is eating it, and then it's shitting out alcohol and carbon dioxide. So if your sugar content isn't enough, you can't get your alcohol high enough. If you have a lot of sugar in there, that yeast can just keep eating and just shitting out alcohol and make a really nice high alcohol beer. From there, you distill that and you make your spirit. So if the agave that they're buying is inferior, it's not sweet enough, it's too young, or it's got too much of the pine on it, right? Like this is a very shaved pine. If there was cut less and there was more of the stalk on there,
leaves,
it wouldn't be as sweet.
It's getting more waxiness to it. A lot of other shit on it.
You would replace that sugar that you need by dumping in like agave syrup or something like that to get the yeast to eat more, to shit on more alcohol. However, you're going to have an inferior product.
Well, that's what they were telling us at Patrón, is that how they shave, like you said, how they shave the piñas. All is white. Piñas. A lot of other places, they'll cut them closer. You're not going to get that much white. You're going to get a heavier piña. It's easier to do. Patrón does it a little bit more. It takes a little bit more time for them to do it, but that's why it's a higher quality, which I thought was pretty cool.
I'm really impressed with Patrón.
Yeah.
Not just because they put us up there. I'm not being biased.
No, I mean, I am too, but...
A little bit. But they,
I'll tell you right now. We have, I don't know how many barrel picks in the store.
Right now, 5.
5.
2 more on the way.
Throughout the history of the store, who knows, right? Not once has they ever sent us down to their distillery, put us up, taken care of us, and done all that shit. And
to think of how cheap corn is compared to the cost of agave.
Exactly.
And we're in the same country. It's not like we have to get on 2 connecting flights and travel an hour and a half from the airport.
Yeah.
Let alone they fed us, they housed us, they pretty much washed us.
See, now if I remember correctly, in the Lost Part 2 Mexico episode, I was screaming at all the barrel. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to burn bridges, but I was yelling at every barrel pick we've ever said. I said, "You've never sent us there. You've never done this. Patrón's taking care of us." And I'll still stand by that. I'm not going to just name the names of all of our barrel picks, but I'll tell you this, they never took care of us like Patrón did. So, and I'm American and they're American and they're supposed to take care of Americans, but the Mexican had to take care of the American. How do you like them apples?
Yep.
Build a wall around Kentucky. How about that one? I'm just kidding. Kentucky's a beautiful place. I love that.
I love Kentucky. We went there a long time ago. We're due for another trip there.
Yeah, and they better pay for it. What the man?
We'll see what happens. I think with that, we should round this episode out.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. I've gotten complaints from listeners. Say, where you guys been?
We're back.
We're back, man. Easter, there's a lot of family things going on, but we're back.
I'm going to crank them out until I go on vacation again.
Hey, easy now.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Peace up. down.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Arthur Cantina, we're really glad you came. We won't forget your face next time, but might forget your name.